I'm Louisa Barton with the Horse Talk Show, here at Air Show Jumping at the Florida Horse Park, sitting at the barn of Notting Hill Stables. Sounds rather British. That's because it is. I'm actually here with Justine Dutton and Chris Barnard. Chris, Show Jumping Company, Signature Show Jumps, Chris Barnard Equestrian, and the two of them, Notting Hill Stables, do an absolutely phenomenal job in the horse world. And so does Fergie, joining me here to guest co-host, because that's just what she's good at. We're actually in the horse barn with wonderful horses that are competing here at the show this weekend. Tino, who actually won yesterday. Very, very excited to congratulate Justine on that. And going to have her actually do a little rundown of the horses that are here with us and tell us a little bit about their backgrounds, what they're accomplishing, ages and personalities. We always love to hear about that on the Horse Talk Show. So I'm going to let Justine take us down. Justine, thank you for being with us. And I'm going to lean this way and have you tell us a little bit about the horses here in the barn.
Thanks, Louisa. Well, first of all, we have Tino, if he would actually stick his head out, which he's now decided he's not going to. He's a 5 coming 6-year-old Dutch horse. We've had him since he was 4, just broken, and he did some young jumpers last year. He's jumped a couple 120 young jumper classes this week, and there wasn't many in the class, but he jumped clear and won both classes. So we're really pleased with him, and he has pretty big things in his future, I think. So yeah, he's definitely one of our favorites.
And he's a lovely guy, very friendly, very happy to see people.
Oh yeah, he loves people. Yeah, really loves people. Chris keeps threatening though to make me sell him.
Chris.
True statement. Very true. No, he's a super little horse. Not so little, but he's got a great personality and he's got a great brain for a 5-year-old. He just hacks around and goes in, does his thing, no nonsense. And but no, he's definitely a keeper for now.
I'm really glad we got that on film.
That is recorded by the Horse Talk Show. We have evidence that he said that. But you mentioned earlier not even really needing to lunge or anything, just being able to take him straight in. And
yeah, he's actually the best behaved of the lot, honestly. He doesn't require any prep, any lunging. You just kind of wander him down to the ring and in he goes. So it's quite nice to have one that easy.
Beautiful dapples too. So who do we have next coming down the line?
Next we have Henry. He is owned by the Superman Syndicate. Named because he jumps a bit like Superman's. He is a 15-3 Dutch horse by Mr. Blue, I believe. He's jumped up through 130. He'll be coming 9 this year. He just came out this week and jumped some 120s just to get warmed up. Was second yesterday out of quite a big class. So I'm pleased with that. And then he'll jump the $5,000 meter 25 Prix tomorrow to finish up the week.
Wow, very nice. And next?
Next, we have Monkey. Yeah, aptly named. He is a monkey, as you can see. He's 15, 1.5, coming 10-year-old this year. He jumped a couple of his first Grand Prix last year. And he jumped a meter 30 and the Welcome this week, both of which he jumped super well. So he'll probably do the same next week. And then he'll aim to move up to some Grand Prix again later in the season, I would think. But he's a cool horse. He's very little, but he has a ton of personality and he's very cocky.
And a beautiful face. Absolutely gorgeous. And obviously loves people visiting with you here, just trying to nibble on you and get your attention.
Yeah, he loves people, but he loves food more.
Sounds like me.
I was going to say, he's kind of like Chris, actually.
No, Chris, comment.
It's probably true, but he's probably a lot cuter than I am. For sure. No, for sure.
I'm not going to argue that.
Not arguing that one. So then we go down to Everse, who actually I'm quite familiar with because Rowan, of course, was riding a verse. I don't know for how long, but I know for quite some time. Quite an incredible horse with a career, but exciting that you just got to ride him in first Grand Prix that you've ridden him in, right?
Yep, I am leasing him for the winter season. Rowan very kindly set that up with Everse's owners, so I can get some mileage in the Grand Prix. And I've had him a couple months now and just still kind of get him used to him. He's a very big, powerful, hot horse with the most scope I've ever sat on. So I've started out getting flung around like a rag doll a bit. So I've had to figure out how to stick with him. But yeah, we jumped our first Grand Prix today, which is probably the biggest, most technical track I've ever done. But he knows his job. And we had a really super round. I had 3 down, which were my green mistakes. But he was great and rideable, and I stayed with him and didn't get flung around. And just really, really good mileage, and looking forward to the rest of the season with him.
Yeah, and that's it's a little bit of a change for him. Rowan's a big, huge guy and a big, tall guy anyway. Yeah. And you're obviously a lot smaller person. He's been riding a verse, I know, for quite some time. Yeah. So I mean, there's some adjustments there, and only a couple of months in a Grand Prix, it's a big step. So you must have had a little bit of nerves. Was Rowan watching?
Rowan's actually in England right now. But I was a little nervous, but the horse really knows his job. So as long as I'm like somewhat right and could stay on, then I knew he would jump. So it's nice to kind of be sitting on something like that.
And you mentioned a technical course. Did you think it was tough? I mean, there were quite a few clear rounds. I think there were 10 or 11 clear rounds, and that's a pretty good percentage. But did you think it was a difficult course? I saw a lot of people having trouble with number 13. It seemed like they'd make it maybe all the way through or almost all the way through with maybe just one rail and then knock down 13. So do you think it was kind of tough, or what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a really big technical track, especially early on in the season. I mean, I'm still green in the Grand Prix, so quite honestly, they all look fairly big and technical anyway. But, obviously 10 or so people jumped clear, and he got as many clear rounds as he needed, and it was an exciting class for people to watch. And, I think everyone came out educated. There was no carnage or anything, and I think most people and horses came out better than they went in. Yeah. So I know I kind of came out confident and happy, and, a good start to the season for us, really.
And for you, for a takeaway, for a verse for your next Grand Prix, what would you say if there was anything that you kind of took away from that experience?
I think, just figuring out, just letting him kind of do his job a little bit more, and just trying to get my adjustments done a little earlier. Just as he's strong, I don't always get the reaction straight away. And just kind of understanding his stride length and power. But, you can only learn that with miles.
That's right. All in experience. And he is a big, strong lad. So, but congratulations and well done, because that was a job well done, a nice ride, and certainly a great experience for both of you. We're going to have more with Chris and Justine. We're going to learn a little bit more about signature jumps and some of the things that are on their bucket list. Just happy to be here, delighted and honoured to be here in their barn, Notting Hill Stables at the Florida Horse Park Air Show jumping Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.